two defendants.
They have deadlocked on a number of charges, but the most significant deadlock is on the attempted murder charge of Damian Williams against Reginald Denny.
All right. Thank you very much, Bill, out in Los Angeles. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, we're going to talk about the situation in Haiti, live with Senator John Kerry of Massachusetts, and Game 1 of the World Series, just the latest round in the Toronto-Philadelphia rivalry.
When it comes to great resorts, nothing beats a Carnival cruise. All your daytime fun, all your nighttime shows and entertainment, and all your foods included too in one low price. Reach, what are you doing here?
You have to ask.
I think I do have to ask.
I mean,
yes.
after all these years of it, you can see me now.
It must be working, huh?
It's working on me.
Take a 3-, 4-, or 7-day vacation on Carnival, the most popular cruise line in the world.
All right, Kathy, it's a fun shit.
Worried about your interview tomorrow?
Not if I could get some Z's.
Nitol safely helps you fall asleep fast so you can get your Z's. Nitol or Maximum Strength Nitol.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Sometimes with my asthma attacks, I get chest congestion, too.
For Lori's problem, there's new Primatene dual-action tablets. They open clogged breathing tubes and then start relieving the congestion. For effective relief, new Primatene dual-action tablets.
Every day should start with Quaker Oats. Every day should feel this good. And nothing cold can make you feel like Quaker oatmeal could.
Nothing cold can steam you up and help keep you rolling all morning like the one and only hot Quaker oatmeal. Nourishment's so pure, pretty near perfect.
Every day should feel this good.
Is Haiti a place where Americans can help, or is this the making of a Vietnam-style quagmire? That's the focus of tonight's Washington Notebook, and to give one view of that, we're joined from our Washington Bureau by, or actually is in Massachusetts tonight, his home state, Senator John Kerry, a member of the Foreign Relations Committee, a Vietnam veteran with a distinguished record there, and later an opponent of the war. Senator Kerry, I think many Americans are asking tonight, what is the United States getting itself into here? Is this a wise course for the administration to be taking? 6 warships moving into Haitian waters to set up a naval blockade, 600 Marines being sent to Guantanamo in case they're needed there. What do you make of this?
Well, I think it has to be put in its appropriate perspective. I do not believe we are on the verge of, or that the President's about to use troops in Haiti itself. The President has positioned Marines in order to protect Americans who are already in Haiti, to protect our embassy and our embassy personnel. And that's an important signal to send. The sending of the warships, again, they are not in harm's way. They are enforcing economic sanctions. We have used economic sanctions against South Africa and to great avail. We have used them against Iraq and other countries. They are a tool of diplomacy and of international affairs. And it is appropriate that that be applied here. I think the President needs to bring Congress into the discussion more so there's a greater understanding of his intentions. But Congress really doesn't have a right to sit there and simply carp because some thugs came to the port and made the Governor's Island Agreement difficult. That agreement has been in the public venue for weeks now. Anyone could have raised a question previously about how we were going to enforce it. We've proceeded down the road, and I think the President has been reasonable and judicious in the way he's chosen to do this.
Well, let me pick up on one point you made, and that is the role of Congress in all of this, because last night, Senator Bob Dole, the Republican leader in the Senate, who was supportive of the President on Somalia, says he's thinking now of introducing some kind of an amendment to give Congress a more assertive role. Basically, the wording is not set in stone yet, but basically he seems to be saying he doesn't want the President to do anything in Haiti until the Congress has some view of it, or at least has a chance to examine it. What's your reaction to that?
It's absolutely appropriate that everyone in the Senate and the House should assert the prerogatives of Congress with respect to the potential deployment of troops. The President has the right, obviously, as Commander-in-Chief, to take emergency measures with troops. And we have the War Powers Act. And the War Powers Act requires that within the 60 days of the president making that decision, we're supposed to make a choice ourselves in the Congress. I think the president, if he thinks about using troops in Haiti, I have no doubt, will first go to the Congress, sound it out, talk with the American people, but nothing, I think, is further from his current intentions. And I'm quite confident that there's too much hullabaloo being created over the prospect rather than the reality of what is being done here. We are trying to defend a decision of the United Nations, which we voted for, which everybody's been aware of for some time, to restore democracy. A president of an elected, of a country, our neighbor, was thrown out of office by a military coup after almost 70% of the people in that country, one of our nearest neighbors, elected him. And the United Nations has spoken on a number of different occasions to assert his rights and the rights of the people of Haiti who elected him. It is a very important principle that we stand by the restoration of democracy. And I think that the fallout of Somalia is part of what has emboldened the thugs and indeed General Cedras and others in Haiti.
All right.
If the United States of America turns away from that, Bob, the long-term repercussions for us in many other parts of the world would be very, very serious.
All right. Thank you very much, Senator Kerry. And we're going to have more on that and other stories when we come back.
Pretty easy to see who my daughter takes after.
I've got her funny laugh.
And my talent for raising perfect kids.
Fortunately for those perfect kids, I have your energy.
Well, I did get you started on breakfast with grape nuts.
Yeah, she's right. There's all this energy right there in the bowl.
What's here on the box? Fat-free, natural energy source. But I told her you have to try it yourself to understand it.
After a few days, I realized with a good breakfast, I have all this stamina in the morning. And I like the taste.
My grandkids are perfect.
Good. You want them?
Post Grape Nut cereal helps keep you going strong all morning long.
If you have questions about hearing loss, discover the answers in this booklet, Straight Talk About Hearing Loss. The booklet is yours free by calling now. It answers many of your questions, including, what is nerve deafness? How can I find out if a hearing instrument can help me? And how can I help a loved one realize that they may have a hearing loss? You'll find the answers to these plus much more when you call 1-800-435-8400. That's 1-800-435-8400.
The doctor said to use hydrocortisone cream for my itch.
Try Preparation H hydrocortisone cream to effectively relieve problem itch.
It worked great, and I didn't need a prescription.
Preparation H hydrocortisone cream, prescription strength without a prescription.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
I'm Charles Kuralt. I hope you'll join us Sunday morning.
On Monday, women's groups will march in Washington for increased research into breast cancer, a disease that kills 50,000 Americans each year. In some parts of the country, the risk of breast cancer seems to be unusually high. And Linda Tyra has a report on one of them.
How you been feeling?
Gail Moffitt is a breast cancer patient, one of about 180,000 American women diagnosed with the disease in the last year. She lives on Long Island, New York, where breast cancer rates are 10 to 20% above the average rate for the rest of New York State. No one knows why, but there are plenty of suspicions.
I've heard with the Long Island with the water and then also the insecticide spray. Well, when I grew up on Long Island all my life. So.
Stephanie Saxon, the mother of a 4-year-old, is another Long Island breast cancer patient. She has no family history of the disease, has no other known high-risk factors, and is looking for answers.
I remember when the water tasted bad. Could it be the water? You know, and your mind starts spinning and trying to find what was the trigger.
Is there something in the environment on Long Island that's triggering so many breast cancer cases? One federally funded study is now being launched to see if there's a possible link to pesticides or to electromagnetic radiation, such as from power lines. Dr. Lee Kaplan will conduct the research over the next 4 years.
If there is a link, hopefully we'll find it. If there's not a link, then at least we can assuage women's fears
about the environment out here.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 27.
I thought, oh God, I'm only 42 and I'm going to die.
The fears are real, widespread, and according to a Centers for Disease Control review last year, largely unfounded. Some experts believe genetic factors may be at work, but don't rule out other possibilities.
It's not fair to say we should just study the DNA or we should just study the environment. We have to study them both, and we have to study them together.
Grassroots advocacy groups are doing their own surveys and are demanding studies be done in communities around the country to identify other possible risk factors.
We're going to keep pressing on and finding out why so many of us are getting breast cancer and so many of us are dying of this disease.
There's no time for anger. There's just time for